I want to talk with you about morning. And to do that, I want to share with you a picture that I shot this morning. Here is a picture of me and Teddy this morning. And my mom, as I've told you before, she suffered from chronic depression, but she also strove to function even with her depression and not let her depression keep her from being able to function, to serve. My mom was a nurse, and service was a very, very important thing to her. And I've noticed that mornings can be difficult for a lot of us, and how we approach morning should be an extremely intentional thing. Brian Tracy said that morning is the rudder of the day. And I love that metaphor because if you think about it, the rudder on a boat is what cuts through the water and decides which way the boat is going to go. And how you start your day depends on the direction you're going to go. And every little turn of the rudder decides what horizon you're going to end up in that night. And so the morning is extremely important. So many people, I have a friend named Ernie who's a construction guy. If Ernie has to be at a job at 7:15 in the morning, Ernie rolls out of bed at 7:05, pulls on his pants, drives through the Quick Trip, which is a chain there, and not the Quick Trip, but anyway, Casey's, that's it, and gets a couple of pieces of pizza and a Coke, and he's on the job by 7:15 in the morning. That's okay. He put on about 40 pounds and ended up changing that habit. But getting out of bed and just jumping right into our day, is not good for us. One of the things that we teach in meditation, that I teach in our complaint-free meditation program, is you should never rush into meditation and you should never rush out of it. Most of us rush into the day. And one of the things that we do, typically, myself included, I find myself, especially now because I want to be over-informed, I tend to look at my news apps. So I don't do that anymore. I look at other things that are important to me first thing in the morning. I want to check those because I want to make sure that my mind is focusing on what is important for me for that day. So I want to ask you to just consider your morning. Consider what you do in the mornings. And is it serving who you ultimately want to be? Because who you ultimately want to be is nothing more than making those decisions and ending up on this shore that you say you want to go to tonight, and then ending up maybe a little further higher the next day and a little further higher the next day. And by getting up and putting some thought into the morning and putting some tradition, some ritual into the morning, we empower ourselves for the rest of the day. This is the most important thing for me. That's why I wanted to show this picture to you. Teddy and I have a ritual. We get up, take him out, we come back, I make myself some coffee, and then he has to sit in my lap while I drink that first cup of coffee. Now I'm sitting there in the corridor. Why am I doing that? I'm facing east and I'm watching the sun come up, which is something that I have done now for years. Teddy has not known a morning. I've had him since he was a puppy. He has not known a morning that we do not sit and watch the sun come up. And it just fills me with joy to do that. Now, while I'm doing that, oftentimes after I have that first cup, I will sit and I will journal. Now, why is it important to journal? Because the thoughts going on in our heads often seem overwhelming. And if we take just a few minutes to write them out, and I allow myself to write out any crazy thought or feeling that I have, and it's amazing. Once I put it out there, it's no longer controlling me. Once I have identified that thought, it no longer has the control over me that it did. And of course, lastly, the other two things that I do every morning is I read something inspirational or motivational. Now, my mom died, 5 or 6 years ago, I think. And when she died, my brothers and I, of course, went around the house and we put a little sticky note on everything that, each of us had a attachment to her that we wanted. And this was the first thing that I put a sticky note on. And it's the thing that I have kept. This is my mom's living Bible. Every morning, my mother would sit out on her porch and she would, as I've told you before, what she called set her compass straight. And I love that metaphor. It ties in with that rudder. if you use your compass, like one of the things is an advanced scuba diver, you have to learn to use a compass to navigate. If your compass isn't set right, you can be the greatest navigator in the world. And if you're going to go in the wrong direction. And just a degree here or there is going to take you in the wrong way. So my mom always wanted to remind herself that for her, what gave her peace, what realigned her compass was that she wasn't in charge of this day anyway. This day was being controlled by God, in her belief, a higher power. And so, there we go. I want to adjust that, transition that. So every morning she read something from this Bible. And what I love about this Bible is it still has things that she clipped out of newspaper articles, and it even has her own handwriting in the margins and stuff like that. So, yeah, there's money in there too. I did that. I actually went around one day, I had read this and I love doing this, and I hid money. Because in hiding money, it makes you feel like you are wealthy because you are surrounded by money that you are surrounded by. That you're surrounded by wealth. So anyway, I noticed that some of you are posting and I'm not seeing it anymore. And so I wanted to kind of figure out why that was. It's supposed to be showing. Maybe it is. I'm just going to keep talking and sharing with you, and then I'll come back to your comments in a minute. Thank you very much for understanding as we're working on this. And once again, thank you for those of you who continue to share this every day. And more importantly, those of you who show up live with us every single day. It really feels like we have a community together. And that was something I wanted to say, that this is a great way to start your day. My goal when I started these JumpStarts, and that's why I call them JumpStarts, I literally want to jumpstart your day with something to think about, something to be excited about. So I would hope that these mornings you spend as part of our JumpStart community are helping you to face the rest of the day, are helping you reset your compass so that you can then direct where you want to go with intention. And I wanted to just share with you real quick. I showed you my mom's Bible. I have a few other things here. And of course, I am reading this, and I think this is very timely. I'll probably find this later on and go, wow. You'll notice I'm using a face mask for a bookmark, and I'm reading a little bit of the treasured writings of Khalil Gibran every morning. Now, how much am I reading? Am I sitting down and reading for 3 hours? No. I read anywhere from 10 to 30 minutes max. And the interesting thing is, if you read 30 minutes a day, you will finish 1 to 2 books a week. So there's no excuse not to be well read. I also have my book, To You Love God, which is a daily devotional. And many of you tell me you start your day by reading this. It's 365 daily little inspirations. So I want to ask you, what are you doing to start your day with intention? Years ago, I was in therapy. I've been in therapy most of my life. In fact, I think I should get the next 20 years free. I've paid for so much of it. I talked to this therapist and I said, I've got a problem in that I often have trouble in the mornings. I wake up literally depressed. I wake up sad and depressed. I get out of bed sad and depressed. That's how I start my day. And the therapist said something very wise, I'm being a little sarcastic here. He said, probably something happened to you in the morning when you were young, but we didn't seek to isolate that. It only took me years, decades, to figure it out myself. And that was that I was always shouted out of bed, screamed out of bed. My mom or my dad or our babysitter would come in and scream for me to get out of bed. Will, get up. I mean, it was literally like like this. So I got to the point where I couldn't wake myself up unless I had several alarms going. Nowadays, I have no alarms. What I realized is that if I go to bed early enough at night, I will wake up plenty early in the morning. I never have an alarm go up. Now, occasionally, maybe 1 out of every 10 days, Teddy will wake me up by licking my ear because he wants to get up and go out. But most of the time, I allow myself to awaken. Then when I awaken, I give myself time to align myself for the day by reading something inspirational, watching the sun come up. And, a lot of people would think, wow, that's an indulgence. I would love to do that. How indulgent? No, it's not. For me, it's mission critical. I start to go a little crazy if I don't take that time in the morning to realign myself. And so I want to invite you to make sure you continue to join us here in the JumpStarts every morning. That'll be my job, to provide you with something to get you thinking along the upbeat highest lines and align your rudder for the day. And make sure you also check out our complaint-free meditation program. One thing I wanted to share with you about the meditation program that has blown me away. We've got 600, 700 people in the Complaint-Free Life program. And there are maybe 20, like Daniel, whom I mentioned earlier, and Trish and Cindy, who are active all the time. However, in the meditation program, 70% of the people are there live every day, and close to 100 of them are using the daily meditations by watching them later. And they're seeing some amazing results. So the thing that I have to do every day, if everything else happens, it's meditation. And I invite you to join us for that at Complaint Free Meditation. Let me catch up on some of your comments. And that was my reminder to start the Complaint Free Meditation group in 10 minutes. So here we go. Jamie Hawkins, as I said good morning. Trish says, good morning, Will and Teddy. Patty says, good morning, Will and Teddy. Linda, I just joined the Complaint-Free Life program yesterday. That's awesome. Thank you very much. You'll get lots of cool stuff. Janelle says, good morning. Gail says, good morning. Patty says, morning is the rudder of the day. That is right. That is not a quote from me. That is a quote from, what's his name? Brian Tracy, and I love it. Ulysses Galarza says, smart idea for the morning. Got to know where you are going before you get there. Sharpen the axe before you chop. That's exactly right. Abraham Lincoln said, if I had 6 hours to cut down a tree, I would spend 4 hours sharpening my axe. Most people don't sharpen the axe. They get up, dull themselves, and then they go through the day, and they just want to survive the day, and they can't understand why they're not happier and more fulfilled. Patty says, I just looked it up. I did the Complaint-Free 21-day challenge in 2009. Congratulations, Patty. That's awesome. Great to know. Time to do it again? ? You tell me. I think so. That is why I often say my day went sideways. I am making progress, just not in the direction I intended, said Dominic. Very good, Dominic. Yesterday, I was working on this program, this system for today, and I ran into some computer issues and was on with Apple customer service for 2.5 hours, and still the issue is not resolved. You can't handle the X factor, but you can handle how you respond to it. Teresa Riddick, I like the Living Bible version too. Yes, it's a great interpretation. Not a good translation, but a great interpretation. As a bit of a Bible scholar, I always want to make that clear. The mornings need to be intentional, says Cynthia. Make your days feel meaningful, and it provides a groundwork for yourself. Cynthia again says, I keep my book right out in the open on my desk. I see it daily, and my emotional reminder that I restart daily on track. Great. Nick says, good morning. Miroslav has joined us. You get the nice sunrises on your side, but we have the best sunsets here in Sarasota. I disagree with you. We might have to have a sunset off. I've been doing the Course in Miracles lessons in conjunction with Pam Grout's new book, The Course in Miracles Experiment. Then I watch your JumpStart and meditate. And if it doesn't get too crazy here by then. And good morning. I joined yesterday also. I live in West Coast joining at 5 a.m. Miyuki, that is right. Miyuki, I am so honored to have you as part of the meditation program. And so many of you are joining the live program. We'll put all the links at the bottom. The main thing is everybody join us here every morning and be sure and share these with your friends and family. You get something out of today. You know somebody who just jumps into their day and they can't understand why they're like this for the rest of the day. Share it with them. Let them know the importance of starting your day with intention and staying intentional as you go through your day. Listen, everybody, it's been an honor being with you. Today is Thursday. I will see you live tomorrow morning on Friday, and I look forward to having you here. Take care. Enjoy today.
No more complaining people. Their lives are changing. We're flying high, creating a complaint-free world. No more, no more.